Ahoy! Today we have what are probably the last teasers before the Smite World Championship. Unfortunately, there wasn't a closer look at Tiamat. I'm not sure why that didn't happen. But we have some other teasers that confirm some things and show us the first glance. Let's call it the first glance at the new Conquest map. So the first one that we have is from Ponpon here. Mannequin Scepter and Bluestone are old favorites. But what's this? The alternate timeline. Learn about this and much, much more tomorrow during the Smite World Championship at home. So, look at a little meme here again. I looked forward in time. I saw 667 futures. How many did I survive? How many did I survive the Thor dunk? Just one. And that's a reference to the alternate timeline being a new item that, in some capacity, will allow you to rewind time briefly and survive. I mean, that's why Chronos is there as well. We don't know exactly how that will work. The data mining showed that this would have a very, very, very long cooldown, and that kind of balances, kind of offsets it. If that's going to be the case, it's another question, but it seems like at least on PTS, we will have some iteration that comes with the revive mechanic. And given that it's Chronos showing it, and this has like a blue design, I would also assume that this item will stay magical only. So very interesting, and we'll find out. I think is this Merlin? The blue might be Merlin. That would make sense. I mean, for a mage as well, but I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure with the scratches. I think it's Merlin. I don't know. But more importantly, the new Conquest map. This realm can be saved, remade. And we actually have multiple pictures of the new Conquest map. It's really cool. So this one is posted by Smite Game itself. And here is the main picture. And if you're wondering what this is, these are, from what I can tell, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. If you look at on Google Images, they all kind of go in the style, you know, of these different levels full of plants growing down, hanging gardens. One of the 7 wonders of the world. And this is Smite's interpretation. So you can see all the plants here, everything like hanging down everywhere. So I would think that's that. And then we have this dragon statue here that I don't know, might be a reference to Tiamat in itself. Not sure. And we have a lot of nice decoration around it. So that's likely going to be the new Chaos side. And what's important to me, what you can also notice here, is that this is the same sky coloring that we saw in the earlier teaser from Smite as well, which showed us the new god's outline. I said the name already now, but whatever. It was the new Pantheon's icon. And in that icon in the background, you could see like this building, I think, or something like it at least. And the sky was purple and yellow at the bottom. So that is very likely the same part of the Conquest map. So that assumption was actually correct. And we have another teaser of this map. So outside of this, which is honestly a bit weird because you see this bridge here and you would think that there's not going to be a bridge on the Conquest map, because that would just be very hard to like finish the game. We have another map, an earlier concept that explains it a little bit better. That's this one. So this was posted by Kling & Smith, and I'm actually not sure where it's from. Ajax said this was more of a concept art. This isn't like a final design. I will move my camera in a bit, by the way. And what we can see here is that this is the same style on the right side here. Where you most certainly have these hanging gardens. Once again, they were not as fleshed out there. But what you can see is that this bridge is at the very end here. So I think the Conquest map actually ends here, and that's all just like a visual addition beyond that. Whereas this big gate here would lead to the Titan room, if there's still a Titan or whatever else that is going to be. So overall, the passages will remain similar. And this is some very interesting elements here. Ajax has said that these elements will not necessarily make it into the Conquest map, so keep that in mind. This is just a concept art, okay? This is not what it'll all look like when it comes down to it. It's not the final version, because I'm guessing that, for example, the trees are very concept-ish, and I'm guessing that this is possibly even like an older version of the Conquest side, of the Order side of the map, because this doesn't really look particularly different from the one that's there now. So my guess would be that they're likely going to go with a stronger overhaul of the map. Or I would be rather disappointed if it was just a very mild reinterpretation. And I doubt it, because like this particular part of the map looks so different already. So I think it's going to be more in the style of this. And I really like that, because one thing that I said was very important to me is that there is some form of skybox, and we can most certainly see here that there's a well-designed skybox rather, and we can see here that there's the light blue sky on one side and the yellow sky on the other, and that makes the whole map brighter and not as dark, which is really cool. There's a lot of fog here, so I wonder what that's going to be about. But that's probably just a visual element, because otherwise we'd have it on both sides. We have these nice arches here in the middle with these fighters on top of them. We have this on the duo side, which is like a little rock formation with a little waterfall and a lake at the bottom, which could be like an additional camp on the side of the map for like a harpy or something, who knows. Just so you have some extra farm to contests in duo, which I think would be very interesting. We have the sea behind it, so there could also be a beach again. Again, crabs. It's my big hope. And if we look at the other side here, let me move my camera. Then we have a new rift. The map used to have a rift, right, that had the purple rift, but the purple rift honestly didn't look that cool, in my opinion. So instead, this seems to be like a lava rift, and the map side here in itself stays bright. Normally, solo side used to be very dark as a whole, and I honestly like this a lot better. I think it looks way cooler if the map is just generally bright in the lane and then has this dark rift in the middle. Even though this might be tough for abilities depending on how they put it in the final map, so we'll have to find out how exactly to do that. But we can see here that the layout itself seems to be similar in terms of the distances. And we can see that the jungle entrances are not changed. So these are all things where I imagine there might still be change coming in. I imagine that, again, since this is just a concept, that these things may be changed in the map itself. And yeah, I like what I see so far. I'm hopeful. If they went as all out with the rest of the design as they did with the chaos side, essentially. Well, I'm assuming it's the chaos side anyway. Technically, it could be the other side, but I doubt it with how it looks here. Then I think this has a lot of potential. I think this map could be really cool. There are some elements that I'd like to see that aren't really represented here yet. Like, for example, I'd like to see a larger beach again. I just really like that beachy side. It just made me want to play duo more, honestly. And looking back at this one, at the full design, I feel like it's very... there's a lot going on, considering this is a background element. So I hope that certain parts of the map don't end up too distracting. Like if there's a lot of light effects and stuff in the background, I think that could be a bit irritating. So I hope those are like muted enough not to be a distraction and just remain as a background element. So that's something where I'm a bit skeptical. But those are minor things, and those will be easy to fix. And I'm just happy that the sky's bright. That's my main point. But yeah, those are the teasers that we have for now, and I'm guessing that's all we get before we get the announcements later today then, or tomorrow, depending on where you are. And yeah, with that, Patreon announcement is coming later today, before that still, and then I'll be back for that, so I will not get much sleep. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, if you sub button, maybe the bell. And that, I'll see you later. Duke Sloth, out.